The war crime that killed so many in the village of Khan Sheikhoun pushed the Americans into military action. The long-term impact on the war itself depends on what the Americans do next. More chemical attacks on civilians would provoke a tougher American response, but the US might accept a return to conventional killing. The Syrian regime denies it has ever used chemical weapons.
I think President Trump himself knows that Syria did not use any chemical weapons. It does not have any chemical weapons, as it has given all its stockpiles to the international organization responsible for that.
The Americans say they have clear proof that the Syrian armed forces carried out war crimes by using nerve gas against civilians. They are absolutely certain of that. That's why they carried out this raid.
14 years after the invasion of Iraq, we see Iraq has been destroyed. Syria is the second secular state after Iraq that is being targeted by the West simply because it is secular and it has an army and it is against the Israeli occupation of Palestine.
In Douma, one of the Damascus suburbs in which more than 1,000 were killed by chemical weapons in 2013, local people stopped believing the regime years ago. They want more military action from the Americans.
We hope that any foreign intervention will be an intervention to bring an end to the suffering of the Syrian people, and not just a single hit.
The solution is for the Assad regime to step away from power. The end of the massacres in Syria, the end of the targeting of civilians.
A major reason why the Syrian war is so hard to stop is that so many countries are involved with different interests and objectives. President Assad's main allies are Russia and Iran, the biggest Shia Muslim country. These days, the rebels still fighting the regime are mainly Sunni Muslim Islamists. Some are approved by the West, others are jihadists. Rebels sometimes fight each other. There's also the war against so-called Islamic State, led by the US and its allies. Think of it all as layers of conflict. Sometimes they're parallel, and sometimes they intersect. And now Donald Trump has added a whole new layer. The events at Khan Sheikhoun and the US response will force the Syrian regime to take American threats more seriously, including calls for regime change. Force equals influence in Syria. What is certain is that more foreign intervention, no matter who does it, will not bring peace any closer. Jeremy Bowen, BBC News.